In her recent research, Citlalli Alvarez looked into pain, stress, and happiness. How can Zhineng Qigong help to manage or eliminate pain? And isn't pain a message from the body trying to communicate an underlying disorder? This episode introduces the concept and provides links to the actual research papers that we have provided for you on our website. My name is Thorsten Lüdecke, and this is the Wisdom Qigong podcast. Hello everyone, welcome to the Wisdom Qigong podcast. My guest today is Citlalli Alvarez, and Citlalli is a very well-known teacher from Mexico who is famous actually for the research that she's doing, next to obviously the wonderful trainings that she is giving. Citlalli, we met recently and you spoke about three new research projects that you have undertaken. One is in the field of pain, one is in the field of happiness, and the other one is for vision, so eyesight. So welcome to the show, first of all. And I thought we start today with understanding a little bit of what exactly have you done when it comes to pain? What did you do with your students? And what are the results that you've created? Maybe you can explore a little bit about that.
Yes, thank you, dear Thorsten, for inviting me again. Hello, everybody. First, I would like to mention the projects that we have done. We have done 12 research projects, 6 with practitioners and 6 with another technique that is external Qi, sending Qi to different things. I will mention those in order you remember all the things that we have done. So with practitioners, we have measured quality of life, blood pressure, blood sugar levels, body weight. With kids, we have measured immediate memory, impulsivity control, attention level, general state of health, levels of energy, and brain response. And the last research with adults were vision improvement, happiness, and stress and pain levels. On the other hand, sending external Qi, we have measured growth in vitro with plants, body weight increase with reptiles, growth and survivals at the coral nursery in lab, an illness in corals called white syndrome, is a syndrome in the corals in the sea. We measure growth and survival in coral fragments in the sea by distance. It was a different project. And also we have measured genetic mutations in fruit flies.
I would like to add to that we have already published a separate video, and I will put the link underneath where you're presenting some of these research works. So for those research projects we are not covering today, the listener will find a link where they can find some presentations about the results that you've created there. But please continue now with your current projects.
Yes, thank you very much. So the last one, we measured vision improvement. We did a retreat and we got really good results. And also we did another project when we measured happiness. And it was a really good. And the last one was stress and pain. And we can talk about that because we all are related with pain. In our life, we have experience the pain in a different situations, right? So pain for me is a big master. As an athlete and all the persons that do exercise, we are related with pain. Pain is close to us. But a lot of people ignore the pain, don't pay attention. And from my humble opinion, we have to learn how to deal with pain. Nobody taught us that pain is a really good master. So when you feel pain, I guess you have to recognize the pain and then say thank you to the pain because it's telling you. It's the way your body talks to you. Because we are an amazing machine. Our body is amazing. All the time, our body is trying to keep balance. All the time. It's fixing everything. So when there is pain, it's because something is wrong and you have to pay attention. But some of us have different pain tolerance, right? You can tolerate the pain or you can not tolerate the pain. It depends of the pain because it could be chronic pain. It's a pain that you feel on your knee. For instance, you start to feel pain on your knee and say, it's okay, don't worry. I keep doing my stuff. And next day, the same and the same and the same. So when you keep the pain for a long time, it's a chronic pain. Or you can have acute pain. If you are running and then you push your elbow, you can feel the pain, right? It's an acute pain. It's on the instant. So depends of the kind of the pain, and it depends of the tolerance of each person of the pain. But we all have pain. And that's why we decide to measure if pain is able to reduce by Zhineng Qigong practice. And that's why we did this kind of research.
So let me just summarize something here, because I think you said something very important. This is not like taking a tablet that you just want to get rid of the pain. You basically acknowledge that pain is a message from the body that wants to tell you something important, right? So it's not about living completely without pain, because then it means you would just ignore the messages, and there might be an underlying message that is really important for you to learn so that you can do changes in your life and make sure you sort out whatever you need to sort out. So you acknowledge that pain is the message from the body, but you're saying we all have different pain is nothing we like, right? It's not, oh, I'm glad I've got pain. I'm so happy. Yes, you're happy because the body tells you something and you thank it for it, but it's not a pleasant feeling. So you need to manage the pain if it becomes acute or if it becomes something chronic. And that is where you are stepping in now and say, let's first of all acknowledge it's an important message behind it, and we need to find out what that message is. Then we can move further, and then we can work and do what you call pain management, right?
Right. Actually, one of the teachers told me, when Qi blockage manifests itself on a physical level, it's because it has been there for a long time at the Qi level. So, according with the Qigong and traditional Chinese medicine, there is a symptom because two things. There is a low amount of Qi, or there is a lack of Qi, and the Qi doesn't flow well. So that's why we call Qi blockage, right? So the teacher said, if you feel pain or it manifests at the physical level, it's because it has long time ago at the Qi level working. So that's why when the pain talks to you, we have to pay attention because there is already something that we have to fix.
I assume this doesn't count for when I cut my finger, because then the pain is immediate. But any other pain that I might feel in my body, like, back pain or something like that, you are saying, or the teacher is saying here, this is the end result of something that has been going wrong for quite some time, because the energy level or the chi level already has been trying to sort it out, basically without creating pain, but only if, this didn't work and the body didn't solve whatever it needed to solve. That's when the pain kicks in to say, okay, hello, do something about it, right?
Right, exactly. That's the way the body works. Yeah, very good. So every time I tell my students that there is a method we call La Chi, gather Chi, that is really, really effective to reduce or eliminate pain. And it's so simple. You gather a Chi ball between your hands, and then your mind goes to the universe. As a consequence, your hands open a little bit, and then your mind and the Chi from the universe come back between your hands. As a consequence, your hands approach. Don't close completely, only approach. That's the method. La Chi, gather Chi. It's so easy and very effective. So you can do La Chi for minutes and open and close, gathering Chi from the universe, and then send that Chi to the part that needs to fix. And I have some examples how this works really, really well. For instance, my wrist, long time ago, I have pain on my wrist. So I talk with my masseuse and I say, could you help me? Because I have some pain here. And he told me, yes, come next day. So I went to him. But when I was there, I say, hold on, don't do that. Because I'm a Zhineng Qigong practitioner. So let me try to fix it first. And then if I cannot do it, I can come with you. And he told me, okay, you try. So every day I was gathering Chi, sending to my wrist. And after 3 days, the pain started to reduce. And I said, wow, this is amazing. So if I can do it with my wrist, I guess I can do it with all the parts of my body. So that was a really good example. And another example, I was racing my bicycle and I started to feel pain on my throat. And I had a race on Sunday. So it was on Monday. On Monday, I woke up with pain on my throat. And I said, I cannot get sick because I will race on Sunday. So I started to practice. And in that place where I was practicing, it was an acupuncture guy. So I went with the guy and I said, could you help me, please? I don't want to get sick. So he told me, yes, lie down and I'm going to put some needles, the acupuncture, right? So I stayed there like 20 minutes and then I felt how the pain reduced. And I said, okay, thank you. But after some hours, the pain started to come again. Next day, I went with a Mexican traditional medicine doctor. And I said, could you help me? Because I don't want to get sick and I have a race on Sunday. And he told me, yes, pass me your arm. So between the arm and the forearm, the opposite to the elbow, this area, he started to do a massage here. It was painful, by the way. So he started to do a massage here and the pain on my throat reduced. And he explained to me, there is a lymphatic nodes here. Those are part of the immune system. That's why the pain reduced. I say, great. But after some hours, the pain started to come again. So next day, I decide to gather Chi. I say, I'm going to do La Chi and send Qi to my throat. And I made it. The pain reduced. So my conclusion was everything works. Acupuncture works. Mexican traditional medicine works. But Qi works. So I took a decision. For me, it's better not to get an appointment and go to the doctor and pay for a session. I prefer to do it at home for free and fix my throat. So Qi is a really, really good method to reduce and eliminate pain. Of course, if your pain is chronic, if the mind has been attached to that illness or pain, it will take more time. So you just have to be more patient and saying Qi, and be constant. If the pain is acute, it's easier to fix it.
My name is Torsten Lüdecke, and I have news for you. You can now access our podcasts in a very different way. If you would like to go back to any of the episodes and you just remember a certain topic or you have a certain question, please use our new bot and ask that question. Not only will you get an answer based on all the episodes we have produced before, you will also be able to directly access the very episode at exactly the point your topic and your question was mentioned. Please use this bot and make sure you don't miss out on this wonderful new feature of our podcast. I like how you say if the pain is chronic, your mind is attached to it, because what it shows is that the mind has been dealing with this pain for such a long time that it's more difficult to transform, because the mind kind of, thinks it's normal. I have this pain. I had it for all these weeks or months or whenever or however long. So there is an attachment to these things. This is also why diseases that we carry for a long time usually take us a little more time to get to heal it when we work with Zhineng Qigong than something that happens in an instant. But I love the way you've put it when you say the mind is attached, and I think that's a true fact. Now, I would like to hear a little bit about the workshop that you gave, where you actually did the research. Maybe you can guide us through the workshop. Tell us what kind of people were there, what kind of pain were they dealing with, what were the exercises that you did, and how did you work with them, and what are the results at the end of the study?
Yes, we create a retreat in another state. We live in Mexico City, so we moved to another state. It's a beautiful place. And do you remember, Torsten, that once you ask, if you go from the city to another place, the pain will reduce and the stress? And I say, yes. But our research, that will be a different research. For instance, you can measure the pain and the stress in the city, and then you move to the forest or to the beach or to the mountains or wherever you want and measure again. Because I think it could be a difference between living in the city and living in contact with the nature. However, it depends of the person. Because here in my home, close to my home, there is a beautiful park. And every time that I arrive home, I ride my bicycle between the park, and I always connect with the happiness, release stress, and everything. It's beautiful. But once one friend visited me, and I told him, when you come to my apartment, walk across the park and be in touch with the nature, release your stress, and tell me, what do you feel? So my friend arrived, and I said, what did you feel? And he told me, I didn't feel anything. I said, what? You didn't connect with happiness, with the nature? And he said, no. So it depends of the person. We think that you can reduce the stress if you move to another place, but maybe not. That would be an interesting research. But our research, we all moved, we were 17. We moved to a beautiful place one day before. We settle down, we have dinner there, and we sleep there. And we explain what will be the research. Next day, we all had the same conditions, the same environment, the same food, the same everything. So we take the first measurement about the pain. Stress, there is a questionnaire, levels of stress, and there is another. We use two, one for stress and one for pain. And the questionnaire of pain, it was divided into chronic pain and acute pain. So the students answered the questionnaires. And then we start to practice how? 7 hours a day, with some rest, of course, and different kind of methods, organize the chi field, latching, wall squats, first level of Zhineng Qigong, experiments with chi, and also we walk in the nature and connect with nature. We sing, we dance. So everything is in the article. You can check all the methods that we practiced for some days. And after that, we measure again. Students answer the questionnaires, stress questionnaire and pain questionnaire. So we gather the data, analyze in a statistical way, and then the results shows that stress and pain levels reduce in participants. So it was a really, really nice project, and it's already published, and we can check in the students' hub.
Yeah, thank you for mentioning that. The listener will find a link underneath the show where they can actually read the research paper to see exactly what methodologies you've used, what the results are exactly, what the measurements were. And as you said, your papers have been published. So there is an interest in the scientific world about what you are doing here. And we are able to show the two studies on pain and the one on happiness. The one on vision that you also did is not published yet, so we cannot put them onto the Students Hub yet. But hopefully at a later stage, this will also be published. But anybody who would like to read up on the concrete methodology, on the concrete results, they can do that there. Now, in the podcast, I would also like to hear whether there are any particular stories that come to mind. So do you have any examples of people, what kind of pain they went into the workshop with, and what happened during the workshop, and how they came out of the workshop?
Yeah, it was different kind of pain, chronic pain, acute pain. The data of each person, you cannot publish in the article. I mean, you gather the data, but then those kind of data becomes numbers. So you can analyze in a statistical way. So you don't say, Maria has pain in the lower back and then the pain was reduced. That's is not, because all the information also is confidential, right?
Right.
Unless you can give your testimony, of course you can do it. But if not, in this kind of research, everything is confidential, and all the information comes to numbers, and that numbers are analyzed in a statistical way. And that's why is the way we do the scientific research. But it was different kind of pains, acute pains, chronic pains, lower back, a lot of muscle pains, a lot of joint pains, even with the eyes. There was also pain of the eyes, different parts of the body. So that's basically what we measure. Because the stress manifests in a different kinds. Yeah.
So let me just see whether there were there any differences in the kind of pain. Was it easier, for example, to do chronic pain than acute pain, or were there certain parts, certain ways, or certain categories of pain that were easier to heal with Zhineng Qigong?
Well, in this kind of research, we didn't analyze between chronic and acute. We analyze chronic with chronic before and after, and acute and with acute before and after. The one that you are asking, it will be another kind of research, really interesting. But according with my experience, acute pain is easier to heal because what you already mentioned, the mind is not really attached. It starts. So as soon as you hit, you crash, you do something and produce a chi block, your mind immediately has to start to send chi. As soon as you burn, you cut, you crash, the first mind has to be send chi, send chi, send chi. And it will be faster to cure. Because if you could, and I say, okay, when I arrive home, I will send chi, or maybe tomorrow, it will take more time. But if your mind, if you crash and you are on the floor, you are sending chi to your hip, to your elbow, to your knee, any part. And with chronic pain, as you mentioned, because the mind is really attached. I mean, you have lived with that pain for weeks, months, or years. It's really interesting how we tolerate, in that case, the pain. We learn how to live with the pain instead of fix it. So you live with the pain on the knee and you walk in that way and you do exercise in that way. So yeah, we live with that pain normally. In that case, because your mind is really attached, you spend more time, according with my experience.
Now, your research focused on physical pain, right? So that you didn't touch emotional pain. We've got a few more minutes, and I'd like to hear a few things about the other study that you did, because when you talk about happiness, this is obvious in the realm of emotions. So I would like to hear a little bit about that and whether you worked in the same way or whether you did anything different there.
Yeah, well, physical pain, yeah, we measure physical pain. However, stress is a kind of emotional pain. It's uncomfortable. Stress is when you don't feel, and it could manifest physical or emotional. Of course, start with emotional and then physical. So stress is a kind of mental tension. And we measure also that stress. But the other scientific research was with happiness. And I like it because we always measure like difficult things, right? Pain, stress. And I say, okay, let's measure the opposite, happiness. Of course, when you reduce stress and pain and sadness, you will be happy. So we did exactly the same, but it was really interesting when I was checking in the database, what are the articles that already have measured happiness and Qigong, both together. I only found one article in English. Of course, it could be more scientific research in different language. I don't know, but I only find one in English that talk about happiness and Qigong. So we did exactly the same. We went to the beautiful place. We stay there with the same conditions, and then we take the initial measurement. We practice hard, and then we did the final measurement, analyze all the data, and the results show that students increase the level of happiness during the retreat through the practice.
To what extent do they increase the happiness? Can you say that? Is there like a scale or something that we can use to see how much happiness has increased?
The data in the article, there is the information with numbers. Like you can see what is the difference between one at the beginning and at the end.
Now, did you do the happiness research project with the same kind of exercises? Did you also do level 1, just like you did for the pain and stress group?
Yeah, but also that one, when everything is in the methodology, and in that one we have 2 instructors, Chinese instructors, and also we had healing practice. We had also experiment. You know what? We practice with sounds in that retreat. Everything is in the articles. Every single method that we practice. Yeah, but it's different from the first one. The second one, we practice sounds, organ sounds, and we had also healing sessions that we didn't have in the first one, but we also had some experiments and also walk between the nature and yeah.
Right. The reason I'm asking is that I just want to know whether there are any specific exercises, because I think in the third study that we don't have time to talk about now, the vision one, you did some exercises that was particularly focusing on the upper part of the body, in particular the head, right? You did parts of level 2 with a crane snake and dragon's head and so on, where you basically activate concretely in the upper part of the head so that the energy can probably flow better into the eyes. Is that correct, or do I remember this incorrectly?
No, we did a special exercise for the eyes. There are 3 exercises for the eyes, but it's really interesting, Torsten, because every single method, Zhineng Qigong method, has the same essence. So you can fix your eyes practicing Lachi, or you can fix your eyes doing wall squats. I did it before. Or you can fix your eyes practicing level 1, or organize the Qi field. I mean, every single method in Zhineng Qigong has the same objective: gather Qi and open meridians. So it doesn't, it matters the method, because, for instance, there are specific methods for the eyes. Or if you want to fix a heart or lungs, you can do Chen Qi, another exercise. But also you can fix with another kind of exercise. So yes, it's true that there are specific methods for some parts of your body. But yes, you can do different kind of methods for fixing the whole, like the totality.
And because we often get the question, people come to us with very specific symptoms and want to know what is the specific exercise to do. And then they are sometimes surprised if you say, do the lift up, or do a large Qi or do the wall squats, because it doesn't really matter so much what the problem is. The underlying principles of all the exercise is always the same. And the Qi is very intelligent, the life force energy, and it goes where it needs to go. And the important thing here is to use the consciousness, as usual, to help it guide and create the results that we want to create for yourself in terms of your health and well-being.
Yeah, exactly. Very good. And also, you can use a specific to add or whatever you want. There is no rule. That's important. There is no rule. If you feel that if you do a specific exercise for your lungs, that will help you because your mind believes that will help you. But if you know that every single method will help you, you will heal because your mind think about that.
Well, thank you very much, Citlalli, for sharing your expertise here and for introducing your studies. And as I said, the link will be underneath so people can read up on the details if they are interested. They can also go and research a little deeper into the other projects that you've done that we haven't touched here today. And and obviously your website or your contact details will also be underneath. So if anybody would like to work with you, they're more than welcome to get in touch. Thank you very much, Citlalli. And I hope to see you soon on the show.
Yeah, thank you very much, Thorsten, to you, and see you soon.
We trust you enjoyed this conversation, and we invite you to subscribe to our podcast so we can stay in touch and notify you of future episodes. We will end today's episode with the 8 verses meditation performed by Zhineng Qigong teacher Katrin Hendricks. Enjoy. To get your free ebook on the 8 verses meditation, please check the show notes below.